recording now.
Hello! Welcome to another installment of Gloomhaven lore! Today, since we talked about vermlings last time, it seemed only natural to talk about the Inox, who are kind of like vermlings in the sense that they're a native race to Gloomhaven and the surrounding area. They're more tribalistic and aggressive and not very happy about humans taking over their land. So in that sense, they're similar to vermlings, even though my wife is giving me weird looks. But obviously, physically, they're much different than vermlings. This is a vermling, and this is an Inox. They're about twice as big, right? And so they're known for their size and also the three distinctive horns coming out of their skulls. And their grumpy looks. They look very grumpy. I'm an Inox. So, Inox are pretty cool. They actually sort of more originated in the north originally, so that was a bad sentence, but so they sort of initially came from the north, in like the, more winterous regions full of snow and stuff, so they have thicker fur around, or on their bodies, and but then they eventually migrated south. At least some of them did. There might be some up north too. And yeah, but otherwise general disposition, just very angry. They're more intelligent than the vermlings, at least a little bit, so they can integrate themselves more readily into human society, though they're still looked down upon and considered kind of stupid. And so they're mostly hired for menial jobs, just for their strength, loading ships and building buildings and whatnot. It's not a great situation. So yeah, that's what the Brute is, especially. He's just sort of like your go-to Inox muscle. Whenever you need to hire somebody, the Brute's going to be there to just beat people up or move heavy objects, stuff like that. So that's the Brute. A very simple class to play. And I don't know, probably one of the least played classes in Gloomhaven. It seems like, at least when there are polls going up online, no one seems to have any love for the Brute, which I think is sad, because the Brute is still pretty cool. I mean, yeah, some of his cards are simpler, but I mean, it's a complex game, and so playing him well is still a complex task and can be very rewarding. One of my playtesters, who is probably like the most skillful of my playtesters, this was his first character, and he did very well playing the Brutes and did lots of cool things. So, what are some of the cool things you can do with the Brute? So he's all about just, getting up in people's faces with his sword and just bashing on them until they die. So you've got a lot of abilities for that, a lot of good movement abilities, and then also sort of his more sweeping attacks, right? Because he likes to just hit everybody at once. So you've got the leaping cleave and the sweeping blow as sort of his area attacks. Those are his sort of bread and butter. He really does better facing off against multiple foes than against like one single individual foe. And then what's really cool about the sweeping blow is like the movement on it, where you get to move forward and then push a bunch of people back, right? He's really good at just sort of kicking people in the face, pushing them away, usually into traps, right? That's good use. So you can either push a bunch of people with sweeping blow, or you've also got overwhelming assault, where you can sort of focus on one guy, push him multiple spaces after running up to him. Which obviously, it doesn't synergize very well with attacking them afterwards, but if you can like throw them into traps and then maybe hit the guy next to him, you can really do a lot of damage. Right, and then the other side of the Brute is, being a tank. So I mean, he's not the best damage dealer. He's pretty good at dealing damage. But where he really shines is just his ability to soak damage. First of all, you've got a perk that allows you to sort of wear heavier armor without suffering negative consequences. So you always want to equip yourself with whatever the highest armor that you can find. And then also you've got just a bunch of shield abilities. Right, so you've got Warding Strength, which is a persistent ability, so you want to get this out early, and that's going to give you 1 shield on the next 6 attacks. And then Shield Bash is also just like a round bonus, so like for the rest of the round you have Shield 1. So you can actually get both of these active at the same time if you do this first. Then you've got Shield 2. And then, if you can time it well, you pull out Eye for an Eye, and this can really, really turn the tide of battle. If you got high shield value and got a bunch of things attacking you, and you're doing Retaliate 2 against all of them, plus you get an experience for each one that you retaliate against, this can be just a great source of damage and a great source of experience, and allow you to just soak up a lot of hits so that the squishier people around you don't get hit. And then his other cool card, level 1 card, is a Spare Dagger, which some people overlook, but this is one ranged attack, which, I mean, it's always good to be versatile. So either you're standing away from somebody, you can just throw your Spare Dagger at them, or this also has an attack on the bottom, which, as we know from discussing the Mind Thief, is just always good. Just gives you more versatility. If you're already standing next to something and you don't need any shields, you just want to kill them, then you can attack on the bottom and then do another attack on top and just take them out. And then Trample. Trample is super awesome. So the top attack is pretty good just for getting through people's shields, and then the bottom attack is for when you really want to do some damage. And this is one of the reasons why equipping him with some Boots of Striding is really great, right? Where it adds 2 to this movement, so it allows you to move 6 and then trample through a bunch of dudes while you're moving, as opposed to just 4. So like the more movement you can get out of this, the more beneficial it's going to be. So yeah, there are some other cards like Provoking Roar, which has some good uses, allowing other enemies to attack you instead of attacking other people. And then we look at some of his X cards, like Balance Measure is another great reason to equip the Boots of Striding, where you can either move after doing a bunch of damage to something, or attack after moving a bunch. And this can really just, be really great if you have a bunch of movement or a bunch of attack. Like if you basically take like your best ability and then double it and you don't lose the card. So especially like a Boots of Striding, if you combine this like a move 4 with the Boots of Striding, becomes move 6, and then you attack for 6, so that can give you like a 6 attack without losing the card. So that's actually really helpful. And then some other abilities, but those are the key cards for the Brute, I think. So hopefully you can see that there's a little more strategy to playing him well. I mean, no character do you want to just use just to like run up to something and hit it over and over until it dies. Like you want to, because they're going to hit you, and then you're going to take a bunch of damage, and then you're going to have to lose cards, and it's not going to be great. So no matter who you're playing, you want to be strategic about it and tactical. But the Brute allows you to sort of do that while still getting that feeling of just smashing people's skulls in. So I think that's all there is to say about the Inox. They're pretty cool. Yeah, females are also very prominent in the Inox society. They're actually generally considered more powerful than the males. So, I don't know, maybe you'll meet a female Inox along the way too, and she'll be even cooler than the Brute. Who knows? But that's it for today, so I'll talk to you again later.